Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Adam. I'm an expert mortgage broker, and today I'm going to tell you how to get yourself in the best position possible to make an offer and make sure that that property you want goes to you and not someone else. Let's go. Okay, so first things first, if you find what I'm talking about useful, please do give us a like and subscribe to the channel. There's more content coming all the time about buying property and mortgages, so give us a subscribe and you won't miss the next video. So, making an offer is really hard at the moment, so it's sort of early 2022 right now, and it's tough. At the moment the market is tough, you've got to be quick. So I want to talk to you about how to get yourself in the best possible position. And that starts with planning. So the most important thing to do is some planning. So the first things we need to do is we need to check your credit score. So you can do that yourself, or you can send us your credit file or your broker. We need to check that your credit score is okay, so we know which lenders we're gonna be looking at. You know, are we going to be high street, mainstream lenders, or do we need to go a little bit more specialist? Once we know your credit score, then we can start to look at your affordability. So your affordability is how much you can borrow, how much a mortgage lender is going to lend you. Now, I've done some videos about this before, so go and check them out. But it comes down to how much you earn and what your outgoings are. So a combination of those two factors. Obviously, the more you earn, the more you can borrow. And if there's two of you, then that helps as well. That helps you borrow more. Once we've checked your affordability and we know how much you can borrow, we need to start gathering some documents together. So we need some things ready to do an application and ready to send the estate agent as well, because the estate agent is also going to want to check your affordability, not to the same extent, but they've also got some money laundering things that they're going to need to do. So we need to gather together your proof of deposit. So that's going to show us that you can make up the difference between what you can borrow and what you're offering. So we need proof of deposit, and your estate agent and solicitors will also need that as well. And then we'll need your income proof. So we'll need your pay slips and your bank statements, or if you're self-employed, your SA 302s or tax calculations, or accounts maybe, depending on how your business is structured, but we talk about that in another video another time. So we need to gather those documents together so that we are ready to do an application. Once we've got all of your documents together, we need to do what we call an agreement in principle, or mortgage in principle. And that is basically a credit check. Most of them just leave what we call a soft footprint on your credit score, which means only you can see it. So it doesn't have an effect on your credit score. But that's a really important step to take, because it shows everyone that you can get the mortgage that we want. So your estate agent will probably ask you if you've got an agreement in principle. So you can say yes, you can give them your broker's details, or our details hopefully. You can give them your broker's details, let them know that you're good to go. So that then puts you in a really strong position. So when you make an offer, you can back that up with, here's my mortgage in principle, here's my proof of deposit. The two add up to at least as much as I'm offering. So these are a few things that we can do to make sure that you stand out from the crowd when you make an offer. The key thing here, though, is that we need to do these things in the right order. If you go and start viewing properties and making offers on properties without doing this background checking and preparing, you're just going to slow yourself down a little bit. So if you're going up against someone that's already got this in place, then potentially you might lose out, because the vendor will think, well, I'll go with this person that's already got all this ready to go, and not necessarily you. Then we come on to how much are you going to offer. There's no exact science on this at the moment. There's a few things that I wanted to sort of talk about so that you can think about these things when you're considering where to start. Most importantly, you can always increase your first offer. You can never decrease it, really. That's not really the done thing. So I would always start a little bit lower with the view that you'll probably be able to increase your offer, unless the property is going to what we call best and final offers, or it's an auction, maybe that's a whole other story. But if the property is going to best and final offers, then we need to do just that. We need to give them our our best offer, and there is no increases after that, so it's our best offer. But that doesn't always happen, so a lot of the time it's you offering money to the owner of the property and there's some negotiation going on. So we can always increase your offer, but it shouldn't be so low that it annoys anyone or offends anyone. We need to factor in a few things when we decide where to start with this. So, how long has the property been on the market? What sort of condition it's in? Has there been much other interest? Now, you can only really take your estate agent's word for that, and we all know that you have to take that with a little pinch of salt sometimes, because sometimes the interest that they talk about isn't necessarily the interest that is actually there in real life. Although at the moment it is pretty crazy in the marketplace, so it probably is popular. If you like a property, and some other people will like it too, I expect. We also need to think about if the property needs any work. Do you want to make some improvements before you move in? Have we got the budget to do that? So if your budget is, say, 500,000, but you can get this property for 450, how much deposit are you putting in? Because if you're putting in 10% deposit, that doesn't mean suddenly that you've got an extra £50,000 to do some work on the property. If you're putting in 10% deposit, you still need to put in 10% of the purchase price and not what the property was originally marketed for. It's the purchase price that's key. Now, sometimes what we're seeing lately is that the mortgage lender will do a survey on the property, or a valuation, not a survey, a valuation, and they will go out and decide that actually the property is not worth what you're paying for it, what you've agreed to pay. And that's called a down valuation. So in summary for that then, we need to make an initial offer that isn't quite as much as we're prepared to go to, but isn't so low that anyone's going to get offended, because we can always increase your offer. Now, I hope that has been of some use. Good luck if you are currently looking for properties and making offers, because it is a busy time. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet, but it's a busy time at the moment, so good luck. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to comment or get in touch with the link to our website down below. So yeah, good luck on your property search, and I'll see you soon. Take care.